Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, October 2nd, 2021, Saturday. This day, today, October 2nd, 1869, we got one light, one top personality of peace in world, Mahatma Gandhi. This is birthday of that song. Mahatma Gandhi, our father of nation, our leader of freedom, and which pushed away by talks, by peaceful means, British regime from ours, Bharat, India, is known, is respected all over the world. Leader without any political involvement, leader without any greed of political seats, is called Bapu by our country, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. It is his birthday today, though he has been no more, yet people remember him all over the world. No politics in Bharat can be completed without Gandhi's name. Really surprising. His name is used in politics by various parties, and he did a lot for our country by various means, and I pay regards to that, pay homage to that personality. We remember that personality. There are millions of personality in freedom struggle, and Gandhiji is one of them. As leader, he transformed his life from South Africa when ticket checker threw him out of bogey on platform. So just to remind you, his life was having two qualities. One was before he learnt a lesson, and one was post learning that lesson. When Gandhiji was thrown out of bogey of first class, that moment changed his life completely. Before that, he was also like other professional advocates or attorneys or barristers. So what we are talking here is quality and safety, and our focus is on quality and on safety, and title is Civil Field Engineering. Civil Field Engineering, don't consider it site engineering, it is field engineering, and involves all other engineering as you can say its colleagues, its other engineering, other branches of engineering as its sisters, because this is mother of engineering. Relevant life to engineering and related engineers to engineering. I am interested to confer on both. Quality is structure, high level language, that is quality AnnexSL. Safety, health, environment, which is, you can say, very many fundamentals of safety organizations. Then designs of totality, not only structural designs. Construction here includes manufacturing as well, processing as well, and methods of how to do something, how to do work, and then also contracts, because without contracts we cannot do anything, and organizations, and of course fundamental requirement to interact with people, that is communication and coordination. And why should be behind that? That is here brief and long and continuous deliberations. I am calling deliberations because actually it is a kind of brainstorming. Engineers can do best brainstorm than all others, because engineer means a professional who has capacity to analyze, who has capacity to think, who has capacity to understand, who has capacity to prove by doing work, who has capacity to do something that others may not do with that ease of doing. Ultimate game, ultimate focus, ultimate station, ultimate airport is work that is quality based and that is safe, that gives you good health and that provides good environment, and energies are used properly without any losses. Sometimes it looks that I am just repeating everything. It may look, I don't mind that. I say repetition is not a crime, but ignoring something is crime. I can repeat systems, no harm, because I'm not wasting any resource. Just reminding to myself by this talk, if mind speaks something without any reference, I'm not reading some paper when I talk like this. Documents are available. Even then we have to think. Thinking process is very important in life, without which you can say we are all dumb. Thinking cannot be replaced by any other approach. Analysis and thinking cannot be replaced. Both are necessary in lives. Without thinking, no one can be engineer. Without thinking, no one can be doctor. And without thinking, no one can be scientist. All others I don't care, because advocacy is reference. They depend on written documents and other studies too similarly. But basic requirements of life in doing work in progress, I understand it is engineering and medical science, because engineering is mental health, you can say quality health. Engineering gives you quality of life, standards of life, development in life. And wherever you can move, you can say relate to whatever economy or some other system in life, that is engineering, basics of that. While health facility, medical science is for biological health, mental health. Both are very essential. Without good health, we cannot survive, we cannot enjoy our lives, we cannot perform anything. That is credit to medical science, original credit in principle as well as in execution. Whereas credit to engineering is that engineering is capable of changing from scratch. What we call greenfield means it can change ground to cities, ground to industries, and ground to life through whatever means. That is different. And I find pleasure, I find pride, irrespective to whatever state of economy I have. Economy is second, though it is essential, but it is second. First is technology, first is science, first is use of mind, first is use of resources for making life better. For not only making life better, making this lithosphere and earth better. This is job. Means we cannot equate any education, any field to economy only. If I measure my capability to how much I can earn, well, I don't accept that formula, that philosophy. Money is one criteria, but our duty is not to make money alone, but to help our real parent, and that is God, who produced this earth, who produced whole solar system. He produced all you can say Brahman or universe. That my friend, that my father, that my mother, that my everyone, I have every relation to that power. I call it power of soul, power of body, power of earth, power of universe. Honor of universe, you can say real honor of universe. I am nothing. If I compare to that power, we are nothing. We are just, you can say, ignored here. We are not having any value there. Even then, we have some assignments that we forgot when we reached earth. But whatever we do, we can say that's my assignment. Whatever I do, that's my assignment. Whatever I earn, okay. If you just keep on scaling, oh no, this is my package and I am disqualified. If I don't get this package, disqualification is nonsense. You can think that because your orientation is united. You don't have to see a broad way. Because your money, your economy is relative to earth. It's not your own. Work is for you. Work develops this universe, this part of universe, you can say. That is work it does. How to do that? This we have to classify. We have to set certain standards, certain formula, which gives us a way. You have to do this. You have to go on to this route for getting to that destiny. When I say destiny, means it has certain time where you have to stay. For example, your home is a destiny, your job is a destiny, your education is a destiny, and your life goal is a destiny. And destiny, one can have many destinies at one time. Destinies means where you have to stay there for long. In engineering world, we call it durability. Durability or destiny, I think, are similar terms. Means durability, when we say how long can you stay there with this requirement fulfilled, with these conditions fulfilled. If I say my structure is very durable, this means it should work, of course, with maintenance for that period I designed for. I thought say 100 years I designed, so it should work for 100 years and more with similar level of performance without any major distress. That is called durability, or you may call it destiny of that structure or destiny of my work. Engineers are exclusively mind-oriented community who has basics of thoughts, basics of contemplation, basics of analysis, basics of everything, basics of concentration, and they cannot go without that. And if they cannot do that, I think then they cannot be called engineers. Even if one is ordinary diploma in engineering, you can say that's a part engineering. That part engineering itself is a thinking ground. Without thinking, one cannot do mathematics. Without thinking, one cannot do physics and chemistry. One cannot devise how to construct something. Everything has got certain analytical word. Maybe not that level as degrees you have or further education qualified people have, but process is process. Quantity surveying we do, this is a calculation work, this is quantifying work. Work is work, it requires thinking. It requires understand design, understand drawing. You have to work on that, you have to imagine how you do, you have to see, means if something is not available there for you, but drawing is available, and items you have to select and you have to find how to measure them in mind from drawings. There's no physical structure there, but you can quantify that. We call it quantity surveying, or we call it estimation, or we call it takeoff quantities, or we call it valuation work, whatever you can call it. Means detailed quantification is a job where you have to see drawing and imagine how shall you work. That's called also, you can say, kind of analysis, detailed analysis to find quantities. So it's not that level people think, they are quantifier, you are a counting person, you are not intelligent. I think that's first requirement. You do not know what material shall you use, how much quantity shall you use, how can you do the job. So that's first requirement. After designs, of course. Design is one requirement to imagine, means what shall be done on site and how shall you do it, what shall you produce. That's a part of design. So we can say it is engineering that changes life. Engineering changes life, and life of an engineer changes everything. Life of an engineer changes everything. If engineer cannot think, I think there is no thinking world available, no analysis available. Engineers should not feel mean when we don't have good money, we have not packages. Don't count yourself as packages. I cannot say don't count from packages. Thank you, Mr. Engineer Abdullah says, my own, I wanted to learn from you, but you write up it too much for me. Well, I don't know what it was. Thank you very much for commenting and for joining. If you want to learn, you are welcome. You are free to learn. I have many videos. I have many postings. You can. I think there are about hundreds of videos available on Facebook, and these are also linked to LinkedIn and Twitter as well as on Safi. You are most welcome to participate, to learn, and I think you are better engineer if you can improve. You shall be better engineer, I can understand, because if you are interested, very nice. I respect such engineers who initiate such requirements without other considerations, because I felt like you are feeling when I started my career without having any input in those days. In those days, you can say there was no calculators even. So we had to move a path which was full of struggles. But now life is different, everything is ready-made, information is available, irrespective of right or wrong, means that you have to analyze and check if it is good or bad, or it's useful or not useful. Misinformations are available, also many, but this life means you have to see computer world, digital world, and it's also due to that world I'm trying to be with people. Otherwise, writing and printing and then publishing, it's a commercial, it's very difficult. We cannot write that much, and that cannot be published as well. And without, even if it's published, people can't buy that. It happens. Well, thank you very much again. So I was saying about engineers. Engineer, you can say a root of a tree is engineer. Tree is also engineer, but a root of tree is more important. Engineer is soil. Engineer is solar energy. Because there is no limit. Only science available is engineering with no limit, where engineer is designer, engineer is executor. There is nothing available, but you have to do something. It's not process only. It is contemplation. It is initiative. It is vision. It's dream that you realize. We used to call engineer a change agent, an agent for change. This is terminology for engineer is used. Maybe now they are not using, but that's the reality. That engineer means an agent for change. Engineer can change a desert into cities, and there is evidence. Whole Gulf countries, many Middle East countries, they were deserts one time. Nothing was there. But you see now, leading cities they have become. You can see Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Qatar, Jeddah, Riyadh. You can see these were deserts, deserted areas. There was no food, no water. Now I think they are leading in every way. Our country was nothing in 1947. Before that it was nothing. Now you can see there is a drastic change. Everywhere it is development, it is engineering. And start is civil engineering. Start of development is civil engineering, which is, you can say, you may say this is all kinds of engineering. When you say civil engineering, it doesn't mean building, construction or civil works, no. It is engineering for existence, engineering for survival. If no civil engineering means it is grass, weeds, there is no river that can give you canal. River is there, but canal is not there in that case. Dam cannot be there. Railway line cannot be there. Airports can't be there. Of course, airports are required because of flights. But without airport, flight can't go. Without corridor of trains, railways, trains can't move. Means whole life, every activity in life, WC, very original requirement, without which you can't live. toilet, urinal, water supply, sewerage, footpath, street, every facility that we have, civil engineering has to be credited. Of course, we cannot learn all this in universities, but more than university, more than institution, it is life that is university. How many projects you have done? Every project, if you have done successfully, that is 1 degree in engineering, real degree, because there nobody will guide you, nobody guides you. You are your own guide, you are your own owner. You shall of course make mistakes, I don't say, but those mistakes are your teachers. And if you, after even learning how to improve that, how to check that, you repeat that mistake, then you are a fool. Why can you repeat same mistake? Because you don't care, you ignore. You are in engineering, but you are not interested in engineering. I have seen many people, mostly because of hunger of package, they shift to management field like MBA, some shift to IT, likewise some shift to some other advocacy field like the law field, because they are not born for engineering. Those people are not God appointed engineers, those are money appointed engineers. Engineering is not measured in terms of degrees, it's measured in terms of your attitude. University degree is a gateway, it's headworks of canal, that you can move up to that, you can move further, but movement is in your hand. You have to decide yourself. There is no limit of learning and there is no limit of doing. If you get opportunity, you are your own leader. You can go to whatever direction. You can go to direction of I have to start work at this time and finish, and that's my job is over. Just like some people think, oh, I'm paid this much, why should I work more? Yeah, there people say, I have been commented like that. I don't care for that. Engineer is not a worker alone. Engineer is a leader. Engineer is a follower. Engineer is a helper. Engineer is a watchman. Engineer has all designations. And we should not shy of somebody calls me, oh, you are a tea boy. Yes, I am a tea boy. Finish. What's the problem? I make my own tea. I can't wait for half an hour for a tea. I go and make it a cup of tea. Finish. I drink it. My time is important for me, not my title. If I say take 3 or 4 cups of tea a day, and I have to wait for half an hour for every tea, then maybe I forget I have to take tea. I miss my job. This happens. And particularly in civil engineering, activities are dynamic, not like other engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, or IT engineering. There is some different way. Most you have to design, and of course work is done in factory or in industrial unit, where involvement is different. Automatism exists in manufacturing, but in civil engineering, construction is construction. You have to do that. You have to use human resources, you have to use equipment, you have to use natural materials, you have to use process materials, you have to use manufactured items. It's all sections that you have to use, varying varieties you can say. And without machines, without electrical requirement, without other facilities, and you can say interactions with many disciplines of engineering, we can't do anything. That is, you can say original analysis is required, as well as coordination analysis is required. Maybe people say you are using different terms. No, these are not different. Analysis is not different terms. Coordination is not different terms. Interaction among various disciplines is not different. If you work in field, you will find you have to face those circumstances, those situations, and if you are unable to do that, then you can't survive successfully. If you say, no, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a design engineer, don't talk to me about construction, don't talk to me about equipment, don't talk to me about electrical, well, I think then you are not an engineer at all. We are taught electrical engineering as well, we are taught thermodynamics, we are taught mechanical engineering, we are taught labor laws, we are taught civil, a part of civil society, we are taught many such subjects. Maybe now people have objected, but when I was a student, I learned all this. I passed Electrical engineering, you can say elementary electrical engineering, a thick book, very thick book, about 1200 pages. Based on that, same way thermodynamics I learned, and same way you can say mechanical engineering. Those I have nothing to do with that, but we learned because it was originally destined that you must be ready for coordination. You can't say, oh, what is voltage? I don't know. When you are in field, somebody talks to you, voltage or current, amperage or transformer or gear or generator. If some foundation comes for that, some design comes for that, you sit like a monkey, you think? No. We should have original knowledge of every subject and specialized and elaborate knowledge of our subjects. We know theory of structure, analysis of structure, but public don't know. Public don't know this. We know every calculation, every formula, bending moment, shear force, deflection, this and that, sway, non-sway, dynamic analysis, static analysis, we know all that. But public is not clear about that. They are clear about films. This is film, this is hero, this is director, this is... But in our cases, it's so high profile that public has no access to our world. They have access only to see building is being constructed, flyover is being constructed, railway line is being laid. Only that they know, result they know, they do not know what is the structure behind that. So that you have to tell people what we are. In medical world, they know doctor is there, qualified, and the operation is doing, and this is doing, advocate is in court, he's making petition and all that. Their procedure is explicitly clear to people, but engineering world is not clear to people. They only know objects. Oh, see that flyover collapsed, see that building has collapsed, but they don't know who is responsible for that. And people forget later, oh, there is no work, no quality, no system, they are all corrupt, they are bribed. People say like that, and some even say, oh, that engineer who was responsible for it must be schedule cost, schedule time. People say like that also. Means they go to reservation status. This is pinching. This pinches sometimes because we do not educate people. It is duty of engineers to educate people. How many do we educate? People don't know our procedure. This, oh, metro is ready, metro man did that. Okay, something is ready, but they don't know what is metro, how it was done, what was the background of that. If some building is done, what's the background of that? What is soil? What is meaning of soil? Is it considered in designs or not considered in designs? People are not clear. And that's where, when public is not clear, people won't raise questions. You see, life moves because of questions. If people are smart, they have every right to know why they spend money. If I spend money, I have every right to know how this money is spent. Why should I pay this amount? Why I am forced to pay this? Does this item worth or it cost this much? That is basic requirement. That is basics of analysis. But we say, okay, cost is this, everywhere it is, all companies are selling that this cost, and shopkeeper will tell you, you go to 10 shops and see, you will find same price. So that is a monopoly of business. It doesn't mean real price is that. Real price can be 15% of cost you pay, it can be 80%, it depends. Sometimes you say, oh, it's promotion, sales promotion, come on, we are giving 30% discount. Why are you giving discount? You are giving discount because you know it has profit. Even if you give 30% discount, this means your investment is only 40%. 30% still you are getting. It happens. They befool people. Whole commercial world befool people. Politicians befool people because they are linked with. These points we have to understand. Engineers only, if we do not come out, if we just care for our subjects, we don't care for real life. Costing is a part of engineering. Quantification is a part of engineering. Quality is super part of engineering. All these are there. Technical is a part of engineering technology. That's why we call engineering means use of mind. Engineering means use of mind in totality. If I work in designs, or if I work in documentation, or if I work in specifications, or if I work in site, wherever you work, it is use of mind what level of mind can be used is engineering. And sometimes every activity that is responsibility based is known engineering. We call environment engineering. Before environment we used to call it public health engineering, where water supply distribution, water treatment, sewage treatment, distribution of water supply, and you can say sewerage line system, all these were included. And we studied that in details. Later on it was named environment engineering because environment also came into picture. So you can create branches, but basic is same. If you cannot have any vision, we don't have contemplation, or you can say we can't start from minus or negative, means something is not available, that is in our mind. At that stage we can say it is negative power because it's not seen. It doesn't mean negative means here something different, something wrong, but it's not seen by eyes, it's not physical. When something is not physical, you can say it is negative, but it is to be positive because of that power of negative, just like computer is. We say, oh, computer, its projection is there, we can see, but we do not understand machine language. We do not understand its memory, how it is stored. We say, oh yeah, we say micron, we call it sometimes 10 to power minus 6 micron, but 10 to power minus 6 is projected as 10 to power 6. That point we have to realize. Mind work is always not seen, it's visioned. Even a kid or a newborn baby thinks. That boy thinks, of course, expression is not easy, but thinking is there. Dog also thinks to some extent. Animals thinks, birds thinks. If they can think, what's the problem with us? Are we born for money only? We have to raise the questions to ourselves. Are we born for money only? If then what's purpose of life? If we means I am money servant, I can say I am a money servant. I don't know something else. Well, I don't accept this proposition that I am a money servant. I am not servant of money. That point, yes, money is for me. I am not for money. You may say because maybe you are having money, you are talking like this. You ask those who are not having money. You are right. Money is a requirement. I did not say no. But is money only requirement for an engineer? Without money, project cannot go on. We understand. But that is budget. That is project. I am talking of life. If you live only for money, can you think? You will think only how to make more money. Every industrialist, every business person, or you may say that person who has come up to that level, nobody can come to that level without frauds, without manipulations, or without using other people's money. No one can do business. This is known all over the world. But is that only destiny? We have to raise this question. When we are saying it is field engineering, it's life, it's engineers, all that we are saying, where is mind then? If I use my mind only for money making, I say, oh, I am number one in world. Okay, you are number one in world in money factor. So what can we do? Don't forget, you are number one in relation, not in original world. Nobody can be number one and nobody can be number last. Because economy doesn't relate to your work. It is only use of earth resources that you have collected for you. Other people could not collect for them. Money is not independent. Wealth is not independent. Because quantity of wealth cannot be changed. Keep in mind what I am saying is very important topic. Economy relates to resources. That resources come from earth, from lithosphere. No resource exists without that. We have no capacity even to produce originally a drop of water. We cannot produce originally even a single drop of air particle. We cannot do that. These are all natural. Nothing is original. Our body is natural. Our respiration, our breathing is natural. Air is natural, water is natural, sun rays are natural, ether is natural, sky is natural. Then what we boost for? We use since 1935. After that, we got fossil fuels, we got petroleum, and it's not only 100 years now over. We have nearly exhausted all fossil fuels. This is human nature. This was, you can say, processed by God naturally, maybe in millions years, and we just destroyed all that, consumed all that in less than a century. We are very good in consuming natural products and converting these products into some energy we can't handle. Pure air was available. God did service to us by providing good air, fresh water. We changed everything. This means no vision existed with human being at that time. What was essential? Just to preserve that material or to destroy that material. Means if one item, say material of petroleum, relates to cars production, relates to all vehicles production, relates to pollution production, I should say now production, though it was not intentional, but production is production. We spoil air, in fact we spoil our minds. There was no one who had capacity to think, and if had someone been there, we would not have realized that requirement. Still today, we know these problems: pollution problem, corona problem, other disease problems, health problems, every problem. But there is no way, there is no plan that we should take precautionary measures. Nobody does that. Even today, you can take example of COVID-19. COVID-19, which is, you can say, an action by nature towards humanity, that you should improve yourself, you change your standards. But despite loss of crores of people, world remains same. Still world is in drug stage, in narcotic stage. We have to think of economy. We can't survive with economy. This is principle working all around world. Means a design has been virtually done by whole leaders of world to stop talking about COVID-19. Let people die. Let people die. Stop talking about carbon dioxide. Stop talking about ethane or methane. Stop talking about ecosystem. Talk formally only, so that people should not raise voice, but think of economy, because they get money out of that. Economy is basics now. Without economy, they can't talk. Alright, economy is required, but that doesn't mean you be slave of economy. Yes, we say engineering is based on economics. That's right. There are two economics. One is financial economy, other is quality economics. We should use natural resources to best of requirement. It's not that we abuse these resources, because every resource we take from our Mother Earth, it won't come back once it is used. We take all materials from Earth. We take rocks, we take rock particles, we take sand, we take dust, we take water, we take steel, we take all, even uranium, thorium. That is a destructive material. If somebody has to just design a bomb, it will destroy. So that is destructive technology, and also it is constructive also if you use for electrical production, if you use for something else. What I am saying, it depends. How do you think? Where do you go? How do you go? What's your plan? What's your mind working? If somebody says, no, money is my aim, and somebody says, no, I have to have quality in life, it depends. How do you think? Character, actually. We can replace quality with character. And we used to say, if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. And if character is lost, everything is lost. I can say now character is lost. Character question is not raised. Economy or money power, what they call status, this person is, I don't know what is the status. Really, I can't understand what's meaning of status by people's definition. If you have a big bungalow, if you have a lot balance in bank, and if you are a world traveler, if your kids are in rich schools, and if you can have affluent life, You can spend 500 rupees for pizza. You can spend 20,000 rupees in one time in 5-star restaurant. But I think if you consider that is a status, then your mind has some problem. Your contemplation is defective. If you think you spend money and you enjoy life and that is status, that is your choice. There are always, those people who have pride of having money and they think they are everything, they can buy everything. So God has taught, don't worry, I take back even billionaires. I don't worry about them for me because it's my resource, it's not your resource. God says that. You are having money because it's my economy, it's my earth. You cannot create anything. And this wealth is fixed, no one can change it. No one can change it. Quantity, whatever is available within earth in terms of materials, whatever we know, we don't know more than 10 kilometers what's there. And that 10 kilometers also is known about ocean. We do not even know what is full contents in ocean, what is full contents in sea. So forget about solid part, forget continent or rock part. Means thanks God that God has not allowed us to know about whole earth. It's very, very small. If you see size of earth, size of lithosphere, that's part for solid part of earth, and water, excluding air, is just 12,500 to 13,000 on an average, a ball. And we know very little about that. Scientists know very little about that. We know only upper layer, very, very small upper layer, about 5-6 kilometers. It's 35 kilometers considered geology. The thickness of this layer is 35 kilometers, in which seas work, oceans work, climate works. We grow crops and whatever materials ores we extract from that. Only few kilometers only we know. Even if you use electrical rays, we can't know more than that. Even today we do not know what time you will see earthquake, you will see tornado, cyclone. We can't predict because this information is not available with us. We think to go to the moon and to Mars and to Jupiter, but we do not know about ground, what's there below ground. We do not know anything except something. Okay, fine, we are very little people in life of 60, 70 years. We cannot know anything. We know very little. If I say I'm engineer, it doesn't mean that is a title, relative title, it's not original title. Engineer you are because I studied and I experienced, I'm called engineer, that's it. Nothing more than that. But what I use, what I do, that is more important. If I can do better work, I can do quality work, I can say yes, it is my job. I have knowledge about this, I did it. And that can be called a qualification, that can be called expertise, or whatever you call it. It's only for satisfaction. But your work knowledge is evidenced only by your field work, what you do in field. I can give very good designs, you say, oh, it's best design in world. I have used model, I have used all formula, everything. Did you ever work manually? My question is that. Why should I depend on software when I am an engineer? Why don't I have a vision? Why don't I have a hand on my work? Why can't it, just think of what should be best for this? For everything, just like you go to shop, you buy something. Very little, say I bought 30 rupees item. Today, kid cannot tell you 100 rupees for shall be balance return to you. Ask some kid, ask some people, they okay, give me calculator. Yes, for something, just multiplication, you want calculator. That life has become that. Mind activity is over. No mind activity. Reliance on devices, reliance on gadgets. It's a gadget. Computer is also a tool, it's a gadget. Means computer was meant for getting help, not to be slave. Now designers are slaves. All people are slaves of computers. I am also a slave because I am also depending on computer. We are talking of quality, and my quality depends on computer. If I don't do good presentation, oh, what bad, was wasting time. He's talking by writing by hand, he's projecting on a board, he cannot use good presentation, PowerPoint. This that. Means you want to do something attractive, but life is not attractive, remember. Our skin is attractive, our external appearance attractive, but internal working is a plant. It's a dirt. You can't see that. That's what engineering is. Site is very dirty. Construction goes on. It's not even tidy. Materials are lying here and there. It's not well stored. Sometimes it's tidy, sometimes untidy. It happens. We can't keep everything final, finished. But quality is required. Again, I say quality means not what people think. Quality means what you do. You may say my product is excellent in quality. It is your statement, not product's statement. Product statements comes when it is used. I use a product, I can assess what is its quality. But maximum, you can say 98% products these days, irrespective from where they come, from national production, from international production, from USA, from England, from Europe, from China, from our country, all are same, no difference. Unfortunately, no difference. And there was a time when you say, oh, this material from Japan, this material from Finland. Oh, this is importing. Why? It was not because of performance, because of quality. See, this TV is from Holland. And it was quality one because it performed for 20 years or 25 years without problems. That's called quality. If you buy today and within 4 or 5 days or 1 month you find problem with that product, how can you say that this is quality product? If you accept that quality, then your mind does not understand what is quality. Really, I pay money for product manufacturing or product performance. We pay money for performance. And if I don't get performance, what I get? Oh, call that person for service. Means service has become performance rather than material. If they don't mind, you ask some technician who comes, what is your product? I just bought 7 days before. Oh, you will get so many blames. No, your voltage is a problem. Sometimes it happens, this and that. They say like this, if a product breaks in 7 days, I think it's not a product. They don't worry about that. Okay, we are giving you warranty. Means warranty has replaced quality system. Warranty, guarantee, free service, free delivery. These grids, see, when you can pay X amount for purchase, you can also pay 0.05 X amount for delivery. What's the problem with that? I don't want free delivery. I want good product. But in name of discount, in name of sales, in name of free delivery, we are attracted toward that nonsense. This is nonsense. It happened with me many times. So I don't even trust now free delivery. I don't trust, you can say, online purchase. Digital world has both merits and demerits. They think, oh, we'll make free delivery and who comes back? Question arises, who comes back? It happened with many times with international companies' products like HP, like Microtech, like IFB, that quality is not able to work. Only, yes, finishing is very good finish, good delivery, you will be delivered, and immediately you will get many messages. Just to place an order online and you pay them, or even if you're on delivery pay, you will get 20 messages just in 24 hours or 48 hours. Oh, this we have started, this packed, this is on this way, this is on that, this is courier, this is, means, oh, you have received this, we have delivered this, now tell courier will now give you our services person will give you, just give us feedback. They are more interested in feedback, they are more interested in services, quality, and quality service of product. Quality product means product quality has been set on some back bench. There is no bench for quality. For delivery, for courier service, for how is our service, just give us comments. Please, many times they'll send email, please help us. What help us? What help do you want? You want only records. Let's see, we have done excellent service. But product is not excellent. So I have no meaning for that service. We claim it's excellent or give us a comment on excellence. That's what engineers should think about. Engineer is not easy job. It's more difficult. Engineering is not easy, and particularly civil engineering is never easy, because it's much based on mathematics. It's much based on quality system. You can produce rubbish also. You don't worry about what quality is for concrete, don't worry about anything, and you will get same quality of work. You don't know science of soil, you don't know science of thoughts, you don't know science of psychology, how can you work? I don't say you learn that, how to handle your workers, how to teach them. You are a teacher for them, but you can teach only when you know something. I should say, sometimes these workers are our teachers, not theoretically, practically. They do job and we learn how job is done. Then we work on that process. We document this, oh, this is done this way, and this job took this much time. And then we can say, we can manage time. We can use that output also in our planning. This happens because it's work culture. We cannot simply depend on books, forms, or some schedules that some departments publish, because they are not practical. They give some codes, coefficients, use this coefficient for, no, this is all nonsense. Did you ever work on site? Did you ever notice? Maybe you are chief engineer, you are managing director. Did you ever expose yourself to work that is done on site? Then how? We just copy these coefficients from some books, just like an author does. Take 4 or 5 books and see all them, read all them, and make another one. It's not book work, it's not book industry. It is science of engineering. It is established science. It is experience-based science. It's not simple formula. Yes, theory of structure based on formulas. I respect that. These are right formulas based on procedures, and it works. But we have to understand that formula, that design should be transformed to real work, physical work. I don't say it never happened. It happened. Nothing should happen by force. It should happen voluntarily. If engineer shifts to management world, I think that engineer is rubbish. I can simply say that person does not respect engineering. Engineering itself is a management. It's an original organization. What shall management teach you? I have seen many comments from PMP people, those who learn management. They don't know anything about engineering, but they say we'll handle project. No MBA, no PMP can know anything about engineering, but they claim they can handle project. I don't understand this blind idea. How can? Yes, if you are an engineer, you have become PMP or you have become MBA, that's different. But without having knowledge of engineering, how can you handle engineering? Just like IES in our country, they don't know anything. They taught some examination at that age when there was no knowledge with them, and that is different. It doesn't mean they are intelligent. It doesn't mean. How can they handle medical science? How can they handle? Yes, administration is different. Arranging materials, arranging finance, that is different issue. But you cannot interfere in field of engineering and medical science. And if you interfere, then you are super fool, I can simply say. Person is not fool who immerses in studies of engineering. If you really call yourself engineer, don't call yourself administrator, because administration is a part in engineering. Management is a part of engineering. Purchase is a part of engineering. Specification is a part of engineering. Formula is a part of engineering. And working on site is absolute part of engineering. Engineering is generated there. Engineering is not generated by books, by authors. They just refer to that. Think of that time when there was no engineering. Maybe hundreds and many hundreds of that. Engineering was learned from birds, from crows, from pigeons. They are not engineers. They were not engineers, but they also construct their homes. Everybody knows that. Well, I am just jumping on again and again. I don't know why, but my objective today is about, again, this is quality AnnexSL, which is a system that has been devised by International Standardization Organization, ISO we call it, and system that they give us. Of course, system existed before also, but it was not named. It was not named. Quality system that we call today and that was known before 40 years, I think there's no major difference except that some certification is issued. Before it was there, when I was too young, there was no such systems, but quality existed. Quality existed depending on technology status that time. We cannot say no. This happened and we should accept that reality also. Quality system now, of course system exists, we cannot say no. But system which should have guaranteed product quality, that system did not exist. They also tried to avoid responsibility. This standardization organization like ISO 9000, they also tried to avoid their responsibility that we cannot guarantee product quality. We can only guide only on, you can say, system, how system works, and that too we can only give principles. We could only give you, device, but you have to work on the device. This system means you are your own master. You are an organization, you are your own master. You have to devise your way how you want to achieve quality. And that means you have to define your own system which should be based on our guidelines, our principles. Means just a kind of superficiality, you can say, a kind of superficial organization standards. Means they did not take responsibility, but they want to rule quality system. Means just get rid of responsibility and name yourself as quality masters. It doesn't work. Actually they failed, in fact. What I should say, since their start they failed. Before systems, every company says we are following system, we have this system. You see, when we have system means it's assurance. But I don't accept assurance, because I'm not buying this material for assurance. I'm buying this material for use, for its performance. If you assure me, assurance is no guarantee. It only tells yes, system is being followed, system which is approved one by its own people, I ban by some other people, third party or external party, and this system is working. But there was no solution to check on that. You have to check yourself by your internal audit arrangement, and that internal auditor also could not do anything, because that auditor had to audit based on definition of system. There was limit, and no company would define something in which company itself is trapped. Every company wants to have reputation, but nobody wants to have responsibility. So they have certain covers like warranty, guarantee, AMC. Actually I call these covers, it's fraud, to be very frank. It is, in plain language it's fraud, but in management language, in organization language, in business language, you may call this guarantee, your contract guarantee, contract warranty, contract of AWEBs. You may call that in a refined language which is accepted by everybody. So everybody is be fooled by them. What they do is the business part. Okay, I reduce price and I retake that price in AMC. So they do not lose anything. You lose. You buy any product, 1 year is over, okay, your warranty is over, now you have to take AMC. So what is warranty then? If your product cannot even work for 5 years or 10 years, what's the meaning of product? Means you are selling me scrap and I have to pay for scrap. If your product does not work even for 5 to 10 years, you get plastic waste. See, 10 to 20 billion tons of plastic is available on lithosphere. Billions of tons of plastic. Yesterday's news it was, whole world has so many billions of tons of plastic. I can say this is really a crime. This is robbery of public money. Did you not know what is plastic? In beginning, did scientists not know that? They knew everything. From beginning itself they knew. Everybody knew fossils product would create it. But nobody audited, nobody questioned. And result was, today we can see plastics available like more than crops. You can't have wheat crops or other crops to that extent. You have plastic today. And now again they are playing drama. If you take Europe, they would say, okay, we have this problem, we can't digest it. It's your problem, your product. You eat this now. Now they are thinking to reduce it to 50% in coming 20 or 10 years. Still they are thinking that. How? Okay, we enact a law in Europe that from today onwards, or whatever they appoint, you have to use different kinds of materials in production. You have to produce something that works for 5 to 10 years minimum. Till now they worked for something which could get only 1 or 2 years guarantee. Now they want to change it. It's a game. Means when you can't handle something, you change law and say, see, we are politicians, we have done well. What done well? Means why people throw something after 2 years, it doesn't work. Okay, throw it away, buy another one. And we used to call it, oh my God, what a state of society. They don't repair it. It was called a matter of pride. But that matter of pride has become a material of pollution. That pride factor, we used to call that time, oh see, we don't repair, we don't have time, we can't spend this much money on repair, so we throw it, we buy another one. We used to call it, oh, these foreigners do that. When we were young, foreigners are very good, they don't repair it, they say we don't have time, we don't have money, we buy another one, because buying a new one is better than repair. What is the result? What is the result? Pollution, plastic waste, dump, sea pollution, earth pollution, surface pollution, air pollution, and of course COVID. It's a product of that. They may say anything, fact remains, it's also a product of that. And life standards are negative. You have nothing natural now. Everything is adulterated by nature, by your pollution system, by your, you can say, bad quality system. And who bothers? Nobody bothers. Don't think this is only our problem, it's world problem. You see, I think 2 days back, that girl, 16 years old European girl, I think it was from Norway or where, I don't exactly know, she shouted in UN, how dare you? See that video on YouTube. How dare you? To whom she addressed? She addressed heads of all the states about pollution, about ecosystem, because still they are not interested in checking this. They are not interested. They are not interested in reducing carbon dioxide level. They are not interested in anything. Still they think money, economy, everything. Yes, you say, okay, we won't use fossil fuel cars, we used electric cars. They are only interested in business, money, because they are politicians. For them, it doesn't make any difference. They are not engineers, they are not scientists, they are only politicians. I am saying only because politician has no basis of qualification. Politicians is like a waste of time, I can say. But they have powers. They have powers because of democratic system. Otherwise, they cannot be elected. They abuse people. Democracy means abuse of people. People's money, people's thoughts, people's emotion, and people do that. In name of democracy, you can destroy them. And they are destroying. In name of democracy, everything is happening in world. People are fighting, nations are fighting, though it's different world, but it's different chapter, different talk. I should focus on quality only, because quality system can be focused only when you realize what life is. If we have to think only for war, this means we have to think only for weapons. We have to think only for ammunition. And if you think of weapons and ammunition, then you cannot think of food, you cannot think of other systems. So quality goes into that. And oh, some people say, oh, come on, do some business for few years and get money, forget people. They do like this, and it happens, people accept. So I don't know why I am stressing this much on quality system, but because I have seen quality in engineering in some countries, and I did not find anything like that in my great country, particularly where degree is more important than performance. If you have basics degree of engineering, then you have master's degree, then you have doctor's degree, you will be valued. Oh, see, Dr. Sahab, see, this is an expert master's degree. And they are not experts. They are not experts. Because they can't perform. They can't produce quality. I call them academic experts, not professional experts. They have this ego in mind. Every such person has ego in mind. That I have this degree. They write themselves doctors and write others only ER, engineer. They think that is engineer. Well, it's mindset. But I consider engineer only that person who can perform, who can deliver. Even if that is diploma or having no education basis. I have seen many people during my career who don't have any qualification, and particularly Arab people I am telling, some British people I am telling, I am not telling our country's people, and they perform very well. If some opportunity is given to them, they can understand very well. Our people are well educated, and I am surprised to note that they work there where is a requirement, where they are forced to work. Where they are not forced to work, they are given self-independence and working, they don't perform. I am also one of them. I am not different. I am not, you can say, I am saying the basis, same basis. My original thinking is same. I also value these academics titles very highly. Our professors, they do not have any field experience, but court thinks they are experts, while court itself is not expert. Means engineering is done in works, it's not done in certificates. Engineering means performance, not academics. Academics is a door to engineering, is a gateway to engineering. But who should be involved? They are not involved in education system. They are not involved in something else. You see in matter how many books are available. You go to see any publisher, whatever publisher, you will find only textbooks are available. Books related to subjects are available. This is theory of structure book, this is construction book, this is surveying book, this is mechanical design, this is electrical design. You can find thousands of such titles which relate to only students' life. You will hardly find anything except written by some foreign authors, overseas authors, about practical performance. You won't find that. You won't even find case histories, what happened on that project. Because somebody publishes them by chance, by mistake, if you publish them, publisher would suffer because it won't be receivable in market. It won't be saleable. Because reason is our professionals never buy such books. Only students buy books that relate to syllabus. And objective of student is to pass examination, while objective of our people is nothing. I have not even seen reliable contract documents said on contracts. Just copy paste without any analysis, conducting analysis without any thought on results or implications of that. I have seen some documents where conditions themselves clash with each other, where contract is not given any value, only owner is given value, or engineer is, or you can say contractor is considered as if contractor is a thief or a robber. If our system of thinking is that, then how you think we can improve? No one can improve like this. No one. We have designs, we have construction, and we have methods how to construct. And those methods vary. What one organization does, other does not do that. It's not necessary, or does it? It's also not necessary. Designs are based on certain formula, certain thoughts, and that design cannot be automatically produced in field. And if it is produced automatically, I think then problem is solved. We have to keep in mind that particularly in civil construction, it's done in soil, it's done in open. Results are dependent on human resources and on equipment and technology. Human resources is one, which is number one. It should be number one. Even if machine is used, operator should be there. Issue of safety is there. Issue of time is there. Issue of, you can say, rent is there. And performance measurement is there. But where nothing is there, that is unit of quality. You talk to anybody, oh, we will do best work. They will say, I take guarantee. Everybody is a guarantee here. Design is design only when it is done. Not drawings, no. Not specifications, no. Work. We can say this work has been done by that design, if design is converted to work. But there is a gap. Design is done and work is done after many months or maybe after years. Neither designer is there. Okay, drawings are there. People don't care for coordination. Coordination is very important activity. They don't even care for that. Sometimes they talk to some people or they write. But ultimately result is void, I can say. Also, those young people, engineering workers, I call them engineering workers, and myself also engineering worker, we work on engineering. They have no interest. They have no interest in coordination. They have no interest in communication. Because communication has become very difficult these days. Only mobile communication exists. Real communication does not exist. People want to talk only, they can communicate and they say, okay, solution is done. How can you solve just using one means? And result is that nobody knows what happened at time in communication. Videos are made, thousands of videos are available. But I did not find any specific video which talks of quality. Even professional institutes, they want to keep off. They say quality should be there. In ethics of engineers, they say quality should be there. Don't work with quality. But nobody defines quality. So when nobody defines, then you have to define yourself. You have to define yourself. And you have to, because you are a designer. It's duty of designer to define system. And the designer just do physical, you just design and produce drawings and detailing, and you say this is quality, then I think there is some error. It's incomplete design. Incomplete design would work only incomplete. Proper direction is required. What actually your ambition is, what's your objective, what do you want to see. If only after construction we can see what was designed, then purpose of design is over. It's construction now. A construction person cannot be expected to know design. That person knows only construction. And if you have not directed anything to designs, that person cannot learn also. You have to remember, as designer, you are a teacher to a site person, you are a teacher to a builder, you are a teacher to everybody. If you describe what should be done, how should be done, that can be called a better design. But just saying, I have given you details, this is that, follow it. Follow it is not easy. And then, who has time to raise questions? On site, they are busy people. They are busy in many activities, physical activities. they have time restraint, they have cost restraint, so they forget quality. And where problem lies is that place. Quality system, everybody talks of. It's now 2015 that is in role now, that is in force. Before it was 2008, that was very, very different. Now it has been upgraded to 2015, where though responsibility lies with head also, but I don't think even then there's a difference. Name has changed 2015 from 2008, but I don't think structure has changed. Quality system is not a system alone, it's a pledge. How many think that it's a pledge? That's my point. How many think that it's a pledge? We have various clauses in that system. We know that clause, and these clauses are not new. These clauses are not new, and if you see that we have 10 clauses in this annex. I'm going to see this another file. I'm just trying to say, in this it says there is a quality system. There is a quality system every organization has to adopt. I mean adopt voluntarily, not under law or by law. You can practice even without certification your system. If you have certificate, then you are bound to practice, or else you won't get renewal. There are various principles in that. An organization adopts a system to take care of comfortably achieving its objectives, and management system comprises various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing various operations or activities so as to successfully reach its intended objectives, which leads to enhanced use of resource management, on risk management, and increased customer satisfaction by meeting product or services expectations. Organizations do work on various management systems, say quality management system, environment management system, safety management system, and these were difficult to handle together in 2008 provisions. So 2015 has united them in same pattern as one should be, and AnnexSL, being a high level system structure, has produced a common platform so as all systems that organization adopts can be drawn based on AnnexSL design format. In this system, some clauses are included. Formal clauses. Clause 1 is for scope. Clause 2 is for normative references. Clause 3 is terms and definitions. Clause 4 is context of organization. Clause 5 is leadership. And clause 6 is planning. Then you can say clause 7 is support. And clause 8 is operation. Clause 9 is performance evaluation. Clause 10 is improvement. These are fundamental clauses, and according to this system, these cannot be changed. But subtitles can be added to these clauses. It says that this system, this organization system requirements has achieved these objectives, and purpose of this writing is to explain intent of new standard with a specific regard to documented information. It says this system allows an organization flexibility in way it chooses to document its quality system, QMS. This enables each individual organization to determine correct amount of documented information required in order to demonstrate effective planning, operation, and control of its processes with implementation and continual improvement of effectiveness of its QMS. This is documented quality management system. They say ISO 9000 requires a documented quality management system and not a system of documents. This is very, very important point. Documented quality management system and not a system of documents. We are not interested in documents, but we are interested in quality system that should be documented. There's a difference. Means we don't want pile up of documents, but we want process. We want how you organize. That document should be there. That document should tell what you are doing. So this is just principle of that I'm showing to you. For example, it says documented information was that documented communication of information. We should realize this fact. Communication of information. Whatever information we have, it should have proper communication basis. It's a tool. It's a tool for information, transmission and communication. Type and extent of documented information depend on nature of organization's products and processes, degree of formality of communication systems, and level of communication skills within organization and organizational culture. Evidence of conformity, provision of evidence that what was planned has actually been effected or done. And knowledge sharing, that's very important, knowledge sharing. And to disseminate and preserve organizations' experiences. A typical example is technical specification, which can be used as a base for design and development of a new product or service. A list of commonly used terms and definitions relating to documented information that is presented somewhere. It says, let's go to see what I included in that. Now, what it says, it must be stressed that according to this system clause, control of documented information requirements. Documents may be in whatever form. It can be paper form, it can be in paper form, it can be in magnetic form, it can be in electronic or optical computer disk, it can be photograph, it can be master sample. Quality system and its processes require an organization to maintain documented information to an extent necessary to support operation of processes and retain documented information to an extent necessary to have confidence and that processes are being carried out as planned. Quality management system documentation include what it says. It includes documented information required by this international standard. Documented information required by this international standard. Documented information determined by an organization as being necessary for effectiveness of quality management system. Note after this clause. Note after this clause, make it clear that extent of QM as documented information can differ from one organization to another due to size of organization and its type of activities, processes, products and services, complexity of processes and their interactions, competence of persons. All documented information that forms parts of this system has to be controlled in accordance with given clause. Documented information. Documented information needed be maintained by organization for purpose of establishing QMS, high level transversal documents. Then it says, in brief, I am just giving you, documented information be maintained by organization for purpose of what? Scope of quality management system, documented information necessary to support operation of processes, policy, objectives, and it is subject to requirement of this. You can say documented information maintained by organization for purpose of communicating information necessary for organization to operate low level specific documents. And this could be, say for example, it's called organization chart. You can have this is top management to line management, line system from top to bottom. You can say process maps, process flow charts, process descriptions, that is engineering process description, procedures, that is technical and administrative, work and our test instructions, and that is what you can say work means IFC, that is issued for construction. Then specifications, project specification, general specifications, particular specification, documents containing internal communications like memos, mails, methods, etc. Products, production schedules, descriptive schedules. Also approved supplier list, vendors list, test and inspection plans that can be called checklist and ITPs. Then quality plans which you have to prepare for site, whole site or for project, and quality manuals that is for organization, corporation, and then strategic plans and forms we can say. These are some, you can say, these are required if you do them. Means documented information required to be retained by organization for purpose of providing evidence of results achieved. You cannot simply say we achieved this, but you have to prove that by documents if you work on that. Documented information to an extent necessary to have confidence that processes are being carried out as planned. Evidence of fitness for purpose of monitoring and measuring resources. Likewise, you can see these are all as usual varying from organization to organization. I don't want to read them one by one. This you all know. I think you all know them. It's only the question of listing here. And if you want to read them, you can read them. Means you can hold your, when this stage comes to you on this video, you can hold that video and read that. It's not a big issue, and I'm therefore moving slowly on this so that you can read that. Organizations are free to develop other records. There is no bar that may be required to demonstrate conformity of processes, products, services and quality system. Where they exist, all such records are also subject to requirements. Now clause etc. I'm not naming it now. We go back to what I was talking of, scope. Scope we discussed in this. I'm referring it to contracting. This is AnnexSL regarding buildings contracting, and what is elementary requirement according to this annex, according to system that we are just trying to grasp here. It doesn't mean it is valid, just information is shared so that particularly what you want to do for you, you can do it. Then this clause 2 normative references we have already discussed. It is then clause 3 terms and definitions we have already discussed. Then we can say we are talking something about, I think, items we have taken. We are somewhere in this end, and then we have to go to context of organization that we started. This article clause 4, which is very important factor, and this clause 4. After that is clause 5, and that is different one. So we can one by one understand this, what is leadership thereof. So let us the context of organization, that is very important for every organization, because all organizations are different in composition and difference in this. So here is what we say. We are talking here of very important points in construction, and we started with project charter. In fact, we started with project charter. What it was, we defined what is charter, what is project, and how to record it. I explained before also, but every time you explain, you will find something new. What is project charter? We say charter, and do we know meaning of charter? That's another point. Let's first understand what is charter, because if you define, just tell, maybe you're not clear with charter. If you refer to dictionary, you will find a meaning. Some meaning is that written grants of right. Written grants of right by sovereign authority. Somebody will say this is official document that conveys to you certain authority, certain title. And somebody would say this is rights only, rights and privileges. That's all these meanings are fine. But I can say charter is also a chart. Chart or graphs or profile. Charter is a kind of definite arrangement that we make for something. With duly authorized, it's not simply blank. Charter, you can say, for example, I give an example. We have in our country, Bharat, India, one document of law, that is number one law, and it is not law that Parliament approved, it's different law that people of this country approved. People of our country who are above law, combination of people, I mean to say, they approved this law themselves, they adopted this law themselves, they devised it themselves, of course with the help of experts like our Constituent Assembly and its members, and headed by Dr. Ambedkar. That's called Constitution of India, Bharat ka Samvidhan. What is that? I'm just trying to refer it. What is that? And it's not only in our country, it's in many other countries. Such charters or such constitutions are available. We name it constitution, but it is charter of our people. Charter actually is constitution. Constitution means we are ourselves constituting something for some purpose. When we say we are doing this means it is our approval. That document, that system has got our approval, and we adopt together with full agreement among all. So that is charter. Indian Constitution, British Constitution, though it's not written, but something is written there which we do not know. Mega Charta is there. Same way, American Constitution and many other countries. Generally, all countries have certain constitutions, and this constitution means these are charters. You can say common agreement of people. So that charter which I am talking here is for that project which we have not won yet, that we have not got yet. Even then, we have to think of that. Are we ready for that? Should we opt for that? That's main point. Should we go for that, or we should condemn it here itself? We should stop thinking about that. There is a gap. You buy bid documents, and then you decide whether or not company should go for this bid submission. That stage we are talking. Of course, charter is complete, but here first requirement is that when some documents you have got, some invitation you have got from authority or from whatever project, that is a proposal, and are we going to accept that? Because we cannot directly say no. When we are listed people, we are listed organizations, we have certain responsibility to participate. But every company, every organization cannot participate in all projects. there is financial limit, and there are so many other limitations. We have to work with that organization, that client. We have to work with bank. Likewise, so sometimes our current position is overloaded. Sometimes we say we cannot take this, and sometimes we say we are going to take this. But how to decide? Point is that just taking documents you cannot decide until you understand, until you go through contents of that document. And those contents you cannot go through in just one day if you want to study thoroughly. But when experts are there with you, you can refer those documents to those experts, and they will at least let you know what this project is, volume wise, cost wise, time wise, and is it suitable for us or it's not suitable for us at this stage. Sometimes you say, no, this is not for me, this is for someone else. It says, people say that. Sometimes formalities are also done, but already there is some decision that we will give this project to this one. Well, I'm not saying that officially, but it happens. And sometimes people bribe also. Yesterday, I got a news about Petrofac, Petrofac, very reputed company. They paid many, many millions of sterlings to Middle East people, Middle East clients, to get jobs. This is yesterday's news. And I was laughing by reading that news. Means for getting job, you can go to whatever extent. Here, we are talking quality. If you want to buy something by paying bribe, then how can you produce quality? That I don't understand. Because a person is ready to give and a person is ready to take. So when they get money transaction, illegal money transaction, how do you expect that quality stays on their minds? No, never. It's big question mark. Bad question, but it is a question. It's a question in its own way. Means our system has this problem. We have to solve this problem. That is a question mark. And that question must be clearly understood in each and every respect. When I say project charter, it means where do we stand? It means where do we stand, what we do. Can we understand this? Somebody has to tell that management of company what are contents of this requirement, this proposal. Are we having capacity, or we have to augment our capacity to do that successfully? Means somebody should go through those documents in principle just to extract this information. Limit of work, volume of work, time given, and what sort of competition would be on that proposal. To whom this proposal has gone, and to which company this is targeted to. Sometime maybe your company has no work. You may be hungry for this. It happens. Sometimes we say, no, we don't have job. We will reduce price and submit. Sometimes we say, oh, no, we don't have job. We have many jobs, don't worry. We don't want this job at this time, but we are bound to submit this. Either you say, we are not interested this time, or you say we submit, because that general contracting never return price like this. We don't need this job at this time. They never say that. They would say, okay, we will submit this, and they submit with enhanced prices, or you can say an overhead profit, or you can say more profit, more price. So they also understand this company has overpriced. This means they are not interested in job. This is business philosophy. I learned it there in Qatar. I was doing tenders. oh, our owner says we are not interested in a job, so just add these rates we have, and you add 15% element on that, so that our price goes up. So that is practical consideration. And sometimes they get job by negotiation also when they meet. But that is philosophy of work. I'm not talking of that philosophy. I'm talking of analysis. We have to conduct analysis. And by chance, even if you get job by pressing hard, which is right of every client, every owner, then we have to do that. Means it's kind of bonus, you get some job which you never intended for. But don't forget, we have to do that. That is a very important point, We have to remember that we have to do that job. We cannot simply say, no, we don't do the job after getting job. And that's where problem lies in. If you do job, you may get profit, or you may get loss also. So if you don't have that loss, that condition you have to create. You have to understand that project thoroughly. And I regret to say, some people believe in thumb rules, some people believe in something else, just to save time, same time of bid, save time from working out quantities. Because every project of construction depends on volume of work, and if volume is not known, quantities are not known, we just use our ideas or our past experience, then there can be problems we have to face in future. Therefore, we are provided sometimes some BOQ also by client, but it is also clearly stated in contract conditions or bid conditions that it is your responsibility, not our responsibility, to work out volume of this. If you don't work out, you cannot claim later on that BOQ provided this quantity and we use that. BOQ is, when I say BOQ, this means bill of quantity. Bill of quantity means items are there, quantities are there, and it is for whole project that actually they prepare for themselves, and include that also for contractor. This means this is not contract oriented, this is just preparation oriented. And they also say you prepare your own, we don't care. And preparation is not joke, it's very time consuming, it's very time consuming, and we have to be careful from that point of view. I'm not scaring anybody. No, it's not question of scare. Quantification is very fundamental part of construction engineering. It's very fundamental part of budgeting, because quantity is value. Some people say, I'll take a square meter area and use this unit cost, and I also did that based on. But when we got mistakes, somebody told me, you will be trapped. You will be trapped. And trapped with us. What do you mean by trap? We have to understand meaning of contract first before going further. And I think it's not first time I explain. It's a liability question. It's a liability question. It is easy to say this is a contract. We got this contract, we feel very happy. Oh, congratulations, you got this contract. People start congratulating each other. They think that they have won something unexpectedly. People think like that. I got it. Our company got it. Means they think future is best, bright for them. But they do not know, when we talk of lump sum, it's big problem, it's big disease when we say lump sum fixed price. If our contract is not lump sum fixed price, then there's no problem. If it's item based, by chance if I quote wrong item price, then I have to suffer only on that item. We can say it is item rate contract. But when we say no, this is work based contract, You will be paid only this. If there is a difficulty in work, if quantities are not same as we have given, or if you could not understand drawings, you could not understand the scope of work correctly, it's not fault of employer. It's not fault of employer. It shall be your problem. Legally, contractually, contractor shall be bound to do that job, even at cost of losing profit, losing capital. Even if that owner commits suicide, one cannot come out of that problem. Your legal liabilities shall be shared by your legal heirs. That is power of contract. So when we say, don't worry, we got this contract, we are free now. In fact, you are not free now, you are trapped now. If your quantities are wrong, you are trapped. And if your quantities is right, then it's okay. At least you will get something. Contract means is a commitment, legal commitment. Contract or bid both. At bid stage also it is legal because you have already submitted bid bond in certain terms. And meaning of that is clearly given on bid bond. If this bidder does not take responsibility once bid is decided in its favor, that this bidder cannot run away, because there is bid bond, and that if person does not accept this agreement, it does not accept our you can say agreement, our order or our instruction that you proceed for this project, and this person runs away, this contractor runs away, then bid bond shall be confiscated by that owner. This is provisions of law. So we have to make in mind, we have to keep in mind that when we talk of contract means it is transaction, it is responsibility, it is obligation, it is, you can say, to be delivered. It is to be delivered. And if you do not deliver after agreement, you have to submit a bond also after agreement, and this bond is called performance bond. And if you are not able to do that, by mistake you sign that, and you have to pay all consequences. Keep this in mind. We are not talking jokes, we are talking liability, we are talking responsibility. Contracting is a liability, contracting is a responsibility, contract is engineering, contract is society. And if you do not care for that, certainly we will jump into well or river to die. Therefore, decision whether or not to go for this contract or that contract or this offer or that offer or this job or that job, keep in mind, you have to do it. Don't take it lightly. It's not item you buy from market, and if there's a loss, don't worry. It's question of future. It's question of liabilities. In some cases, this liability can continue for many, many years. Or if not for whole, some items are there which are warranted for 5 to 10 years or more. Keep that point in mind. How shall you come out of that trap? Because you took it easily just to get the job. You should have keep in mind, you have to do that. And that is particular question here. That's why I say charter stage is very important. If you apply all questions, all parameters of that charter, all contents of that charter, if you apply to your company or organization, you should keep in mind, now it is loss of job, but if you are trapped, this will be loss of your life. Because you will be called unsuccessful contractor, runaway contractor. You don't want this work, and that is a problem for both, for organization or client as well as for you contractor. Therefore, charter decision is very, very important. If you think, if you calculate that you are not able to do this job in this period or in coming period, better avoid that time, not to win this contract but to wait for future contracts. Therefore, charter has some weight. That weight we cannot deny. We as contracting, building or construction organization, to maintain each project track, work out a charter related to every bid, and thereafter that charter continues if bid turns to award as contract. This charter is not an ordinary one, but management or organization, board comprising leaders and seniors constitute complete details related to bid and post-bid of project matter. We have to discuss every point in this, including finance, work quantity, required quality, and our capacity, means contractors or bidders' capacity. These 4 points are very important. Our people, our managers, our evolutionists should be perfect in their contemplation and should think for society's welfare, national welfare, not just image welfare. We don't want image welfare. We are responsible, we have to work on this, or we have to forget this. That's where charter is important about. If you have to work, we have to give reasons why to work. What is good in this? Can we move further on this? Can we expect from this analysis, from this computation, certain surety that our people shall gift us of congratulations or something else when you get this job, or you do not want this job. Sometimes people think you can take all jobs, and taking job is easy, but doing job is a question. So what I say, if such stages are clear, we can decide. If we have some analytical mind, we have some experience, we can think of what percentage of this work is for us and what percentage is for our contractors, subcontractors. If you say, oh no, I have only 15 or 20%, 25% element in this contract, all others are external agencies that will do, then I think in that case you can forget that job as well if you don't want to do that. Well, I think sometimes that is better. You don't worry about that job. Or if you want to take that job, you decide, no, we are interested in job, then start acting from there itself. You should verify those quantities by recalculating, or you can chart out your own BOQ before working something. You can say, once you decide that we have to move on this project, we have to submit its price, and immediately from that time onwards until you get extension, you create a team and involve with this bid process. That depends on your organization. And many studies are conducted by your experts of coordination and communication, and feedback from engineering staff or some other staff. How will you handle this project? This is purpose of original charter, but it should be recorded quantity should be recorded, purpose is recorded, possibilities are recorded, what strength you expect, we should apply for this, we should engage on this project, what level of consultant do we have, can we or do we have experience about these consultants, do we know who client is, and is that client good paymaster, time paymaster, or that client doesn't have interestingly pay to you immediately as it's required. Generally that causes a problem. It's a master document, you can say it's not meant for client, but it's meant for you. It's a master document. It's master document for prosecution, for execution, and also during post award, and up to whatever stage you can say. You maybe after constituting this document you forget about that, but don't forget that this should be part of your company's record. And if you want to check why we got this job, why, then you have your answers are available. No, do not take any decision which is illogical, which has no contemplation, which has no background. Don't take any such decision as far as bid is concerned. It's very small term bid which converts to contract one day, and once your contract starts, you have to finish that also. And until you finish it, you have to do everything that's required to be effective. You have to know this point. No random decision. Whatever decision you are to take, it should be logical, reasonable. It should be well thought of, because it is organizational decision. Professional approach must be incorporated into that. No arbitrary decisions should be taken. And if you find some problems do exist about handling, then you can go for resolution of those or inquiry from somewhere else. But your whatever work is over, that work has to be reported. Of course, it's being reported when you're alive, but that work is reported somewhere else. Contract is not easy. Contract is very risky for both parties to contract. Here, first party is the employer, and second party is contractor, and there are two more different parties which are not directly related, and those are on different contracts, and one of them is independent of this contract but practically included in this contract, and that's called engineer. And other procedures are there, always there, remain. We have to understand organization. Though we talked about charter, but we don't know organization. So what is organization after all? Why do you organize? Why do you say organization? We are a company. We are a group. We have to do something. We are in market. We have some ambition. It's business. Of course, there are procedures we have to follow. Now, our current destiny is building contract. Let us say we want to be leader, or we are leader already. Though we say we lead, I think they lead business only. What did we do in past? Why did we do that? Why we are doing now? Are we doing better than before, or we are doing worse than before? Or if you continue like this, can we be there in future? Certain points do work. And we have to understand these points clearly, in clear terms, not in unclear terms. What we have delivered so far to our other clients. How much have you added to our knowledge? How much can we learn from this? And what sort of categories of engineers do we have? Are they well qualified for this new project? Can they be used for this project, or we need other people? Remember, this is construction project. This is not some other which you have to buy and sell. It's not dealing, it's not brokerage that I bought and sell in evening with some difference of 10%, so that 10% is my profit. It is first of all different kind of market where everybody cannot enter. There is a group qualification here. There are many people in group, many people technocrat, many people different. But it is job for say 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, long period. Other jobs maybe 1 month. You want to buy a machine, or you can buy immediately, or you place an order and buy it, get it in 1 month time, or whatever. You can go to market and buy a car immediately. There's no problem if you have money. But here, it's not simply sell and buy. It's not simply sell or buy. It's not simply transaction. It is requirement of work, requirement of its delivery. That's very important point. We cannot just keep eyes closed, mind closed, and say, no, we'll do it, we got it. No. You have to understand that. If you can't support everything on this project, we cannot do anything. Though we are going to help people, we are going to help development, but we cannot de-develop ourselves. If we get project ourselves with bad calculation, nobody will excuse us that, oh, by mistake you got it, we excuse you. Nobody will forgive you. Why should they excuse you? It's based on competition, you got it. So you have to fulfill that. And if you don't go for that, or by chance you come to see that place, you will repent immediately. Why did I do this job? Very simple. So we say we must have plenty of professionals who know this job, and those professionals should work on all such definitions. We have to take this point into our consideration. In this case, we are saying RCC buildings. RCC building is no joke, I can say. It's a difficult job. It's more difficult than structural steel, because at least you get members from market and you have to erect them and connect. That's all. Even priming, priming is available. Red oxide layer, that is available. We intend to help public. We intend to help our people, or wherever we are, our society, but we want to help them with our technical knowledge. How to construct RCC building, how to do that, or we have to teach also for architects to deal with them, and they also give us some knowledge. This means not just commodity. You cannot call simply commodity. This is something different, very different. And this is not for one day. This is not for one day. You have to do it, and you have to trap yourself. Do and trap. What a joke, is it? I am spending money, I am spending time, I am using hundreds of workers, and I am going to be trapped. What a beautiful idea. My dear, it is contract which we don't value as engineer, unfortunately, because we are not taught. We are not taught about how to handle contracts. We study quantity surveying. It is mentioned very briefly what is contract. We are interested in quantities only. Quantity is a requirement, that's true. Without quantity there can be no contract. We want to get contract, but we don't understand quantity. Or we can say we understand quantity, we don't understand contract. Contract is for everyone to understand. Everything goes wrong if contractor is wrong, contract is wrong. In anxiety, we just sign. Oh, we got it. By misleading statements, by misinformation given by engineers sometimes. Engineers also do not go through documents, unfortunately. Openly I am saying, they don't go through documents. And those who go through documents, they are serious people. Very serious people. Even if you decide that you go for this build, don't stop watching documents. Don't stop. Keep on reading and reading. Maybe at some point you know, oh my God, I did a mistake, I accepted this offer, but I'm not going to do this because this is causing me problem. This is causing me difficulties. So maybe you don't submit that, or submit in augmented price, you can say, a loaded price. So automatically it will fall. That policy, as I discussed before, is done. Organization are capable, these are capable, and we can augment every strength of organization to meet new requirements. Every organization understands that what is its professional, national and social responsibility. They understand that is different whether they do it or don't do it, but they understand very well. We can say organization is fully capable to augment its strength further all disciplines, pertinent supervising experts as and when required. Organization understands that its professional, national and social responsibility to contemplate, analyze, consider and reconsider to deliver best and fittest degree of works production at economical and sustainable, ecological cost, forcing keeping site and surrounding locations tidy, safe in all respects and help to avoid inconvenience to people. Organization is committed, you can say, committed not to allow any construction related debris or other wastes remain on site or in vicinity, but these require to be transported to some selected, approved environment pollution related wastes to approved locations. And we have to consider health factor always. First priority should be health on projects, and second priority is crops generation. That point we have to understand. We should not cause any pollution. We should not create any traffic noise. We should care about everything as such in environmental protection measures. It's environment now, it's a reference only, but you can use it where it's easy to understand. Organization understands that product or better end user expect best sustainable economically, ecologically and within acceptable criteria, graded with quality controlled product. All such operations that can assist site working with minimum efforts and maximum benefits. Organizational leader. Organizational leader ensures that it understands requirements mandated by laws, regulations, contract documents, good industrial practice, etc. etc. Now, please give me a few minutes. I'll be back because I have to go little walks more than 2 hours. I have to stretch my legs also. I can't do otherwise. Just a few minutes. I'll be back. You can read or take rest while you're done. Okay, well then, sorry, little late, but we cannot do anything. It's like that. I have to deliver this or pending. No way out. Sorry, little late. 5-6 minutes delay. Let's continue our power of contracting. Contracting power, I am calling it power because it's power in different sense. In different sense that development depends on contracting, though it depends on engineering, because contracting is also engineering. We can say contract engineering. Every leader in organization of contracting must ensure that it well understands requirements mandated by laws, by regulations, by contract documents. It has to understand each requirement. If it doesn't understand these requirements, we can say that there must be some problem. There must be some problem if you don't understand requirement. Requirement must be understood very well. We can't go without that. If you think it's not right, we have to analyze it. Organization leader ensures that it well understands requirements mandated by law, regulations, contract documents, good industrial practice, honor architect and others. Internal issues are references to mandatory and advisory practical national and international codes, prosecution requirements, labor controls and welfare, subcontractors control, maintaining etc., maintaining peace and harmony, its residences, camps at site, etc. All these must be very clearly understood. If we don't understand these points, some problem of electricity is there, I think. We have to take into considerations all these points. And if we can't consider these points, certainly we shall suffer at every requirement. External and internal issues. External issues are site coordinated with statutory and government authorities, appointed architects and owners representatives or engineers as well, direct and indirect impact groups which need be taken care of from time to time. Our requirements are different, very, very different. Contracting is multidisciplinary work. It does not rely on one discipline. Just like I said, design requires input of every discipline. Contracting is no different. I'm talking of simple buildings. I'm not talking of here, very major projects. Even in buildings, you'll find multiple disciplines. RCC buildings, industrial buildings. Of course, there's little difference. Industrial buildings and RCC are a little different, but there is a requirement, and that requirement cannot be taken for granted. We have to understand that point. You may say external issues are site coordinations with statutory and government authorities and all those who deal with this project. Organization leaders has duty. Organization leader makes sure that there should be no delay on conducting work supervision and work deliveries. schedules which works if delayed shall mar site prospective, site prosecution, impose on consequential delays on project completion, leading to imposing contract provided penalty clause, which we call basically liquidated damages, as well as limiting damages, capping. That point we have already discussed and should be very important for discussion, because it's a killing clause, you can say. It's a killing clause. Killing clause it is, killing clause, really. Why should I say it's a killing clause? Sorry. Why should I say that LD is a killing clause? What is LD? Liquidated damages. What does it mean? It's a parameter, it's a requirement, or you can say it's a kind of damage that is indicated on contract data. Contract data is a list that is given in contract form itself, which has time limit is given, cost of project is given, or to be filled or not filled. You can say limits are given, limits of performance bond, limits of tender bond or bid bond, and insurance issues, various other issues, and some other conditions are also given, priorities are given. All those constitute parameters, or you can say specific requirements on that project, on that job. Every contract is per time bound and cost bound. And when we talk of lump sum fixed price contract, we talk of limitations. Those limitations are mandatory to be implicated, to be imposed by force of law. We cannot get rid of them once we enter into contract, and if we execute contract, both parties to contract, employer and contractor, remain bound together. No one can say, I am free and you are free, you are bound and I am free, or contractor cannot say, I am free and you are bound. No. It is statutory law under which contract has been entered. It's not individual freedom, or you may say it's a charter. Contractor and employer both have chartered each other. Employer has chartered that I will pay you this for this scope of work. In this time you finish, provided you finish within this time. And contractor has chartered that I will do this job within this time, with these conditions complied with, and you have to pay me. This is essence of contract. It is, you can say, by charter between two parties under some law. Neither law can be repealed nor these conditions can be revalidated until both accept, until both agree. This means it is binding by force of law. It's legal binding by force of law, and this legal binding binds both parties to contract. They devised this themselves. They bound themselves. So why dispute now? LD says it will be imposed on contractor if contractor fails to deliver this work in given time, in indicated time for which this project currency is valid. Currency means that period which is contract duration. Each day is currency, each month is currency. Current, you can say current working of contract, current prosecution of contract. And whole duration until this project is run, is performed, is called currency period. And once project is closed, it's discharged, that currency is completed. No more currency exists. Then what does it mean? It means if even is 1 day delay, even there is 1 day delay or part of a day delay, per day damages can be imposed on contractor who failed to deliver work even by 1 day. And every day delay is counted. Every day delay is counted. If it is 15 days delays, 15 days are counted. If it's 15 months delayed, 15 months are counted. But there is a cap, and that cap in construction contract is usually 10% of lump sum price. More than that is practically not workable for construction contracts. I'm not talking of supplies, I'm not talking of machine supplies contract, services contract. It is specifically by practice 10%, and probably reason being that 10% is commonly understood as profit sharing by contractor. If contractor has to pay 10%, it's a big considerable amount. 10% is not short amount. Let us say one project is $1 billion, $100 crore. $100 crore means 10%, 10 crores. Where would that contractor stand? From where the contractor absorb that loss? That's why LD imposition is very bad. Of course, but it is in interest of both parties also that both parties should think of to finish work in time. I am sure no employer is interested in LD, and no contractor is also interested in any imposition of LD, but both sign together because they have one point in mind: this project. This project. Employer is a promoter. That promoter has to see its business, its reputation, its commitment. While contractor is also a business person, that contractor has to make profit and also earn its reputation for future. So they agree for this, for you can say deterioration. So okay, at least we should remember, our workers remember, no free allowance can be given. No freedom can be given means if there is no LD, what would you do if contractor doesn't work in time? There is no solution. There is no solution left for honor. And of course, if you deliver work before time, there is no added advantage for that. There is no added advantage for that at time of handover. If it is not conditioned, in case both can agree a condition, there is no bar to that. This is contract period. If work is delivered before this period, this much compensation or additional bonus can be given to contractor. There is no bar to that. It can be done, but generally I have not seen that. It can only benefit in future if contractor delivers project before time is over. First benefit is that you can be called efficient contractor, you can be called caring contractor, you can be called, you can say, professional contractor, that you value time, and moreover on that, maybe you don't save anything on resources. That's all wrong to say that before time if you deliver you will get savings. I don't think that, because work time is same. Maybe you employed overtime people, you employed something else, or you use some other technology for fast construction. So cost doesn't matter here. What matters is time, what matters is reputation, and of course that party is employer who can start that work before time, means that contract can be that project can be converted, can be transformed to operational stage before time. And that is, you can say, kind of advantage one can get, and that's important as well. It's not easy to take this, but it happens. Nobody can generally say work shall be done before time, because it's very difficult. It's not one man show, one person show. It is group show, and also not only group show, it's a show of external parties like subcontractors, vendors. So somewhere you will find some delay, some clash. If you can do it before time, welcome, there is no problem. You will get benefit in future because you gain confidence. And when you can have that efficiency that I can deliver before time, you can also write that, you can say, qualification, that if I can give value of early closing this, early delivery of this, that can be called a value. Or you may say, I give you value to that extent you can benefit, and this can overweigh our other contractors, but that is remote case. What happens actually on every contract, items are added, some changes are done, and situation becomes that much complicated at end that you have to do a lot of work on those treatments, on those conditions, on those instructions. So many instructions. Closure is not easy. Closure means commissioning is not easy, testing is not easy, dossiers are not easy, it's all time consuming, as-built drawings are not easy. Project is engineering one, it's not just machine parts that you have to manufacture. You have to deliver something which will use in future. And it's different, means all history should be clear. History on project should be clear to everybody. Who will use this? Maybe all those construction will go away. Will go away one day. But what happened on that project should be known to everybody. So you can say that our past history is an attractive one to an extent. Percentage of profit is related to as well as percentage of its growth, and we are inclined to integrate on existing list of stakeholders. Also, we can say what organization should consider. That's also a very significant part. We can say just written only our current scope is progressively and dynamically working business on RCC buildings, construction contracts in this nation, but this is not limited constraint. Meanwhile, our leadership do have opinion. Our leaderships do have opinion to enter EPC or EPIC contracting in coming certain duration. Our research team remains partly busy on charting out strategy how to accede to field related to LPC bidding across EPC bidding across on various other economies. Means you want to jump from construction stage to EPC stage. That's a kind of multi-level promotion of yourself, because you have to involve with designs, and that is very important part of projects. Design is very important because it should impact everything. We have worked over time for initiating such an approach so that we may consider contracting many potential partners. They award thus respective civil works on EPC ongoing contracts for which we have adequate potential to deliver requirements owned by EPC operations. Again, problem I think of videos, problem of 0 signals, maybe this goes off. Be either with them as JV partners or they award us respective civil works on EPC ongoing contracts for which we have adequate potential to deliver requirements owned by EPC operations. To effect entry to EPC, organization often chart out its strategy. With international leading EPC organizations to compete on civil works, subcontracts, so that we earn relative experience which may help us work with them in future. It's very important point here. EPC. Organization also tries continuously to enter into professional alliance with electromechanical contracting organizations so as to have their support for our package RCC building contracts, bids for which we intend to chart out pre-bid alliance virtually for submitting competitive bids and constitute with them future partnership for other projects. It's very important point you see. Organization also tries continuously to enter into professional alliance with electromechanical contracting organizations so as to have their support for our package RCC building contracts, bids for which we intend to chart out pre-bid alliance virtually for submitting competitive bids and constitute with them for future partnership on other projects. Organization also continuously tries to find junior partners to deal with non-structural items who may extend to us respective affordable assistance to help us win competition-based bids. Junior partners means finishing items, other items. Every company cannot be good for that. We have to ally with them. It's possible. If some company has all these facilities in-house, it's very difficult to find. It's easy to say we have, but we need quality also. Don't forget. Quality criteria is very important here. no other criteria. If we cannot deliver quality, better not to do the job. Against that, our organization has, let me go to that. Our organization has divisions, we can say, such as our organization divisions such as business development, estimation, business development, you can say estimation and tendering, in-house designs, planning and scheduling, marketing or purchasing, construction, safety, health and environment, quality systems, administration. Well, it's a great divisions we have. Really, we have great divisions here. I just went for water. Sorry. Okay. We have great divisions here. This says business development, estimation, tendering, house designs, planning, in-house designs, planning, scheduling, marketing, purchase, construction, safety, health, environment, quality system. A lot of divisions. During bidding process, organization appoints and declares one coordination manager to work out each bid in details with support of estimation division, who could probably be later appointed as project leader of this project once project is won. This leader is dedicated to be responsible for all outcomes of bid from inception of bid charter to project deliveries. It's a big point here. Practically, you can say, not at random. What it says? First of all, it says we have all divisions in common. Means we are professionally experts. It says we can develop our business. Okay, that is actually a part of engineering nowadays. Before it was separate consideration, because business means engineering business we are talking. We are not talking sales business. We are not talking trading. We are talking industrial business. Then we are talking of estimation and tendering. Then designs also we are talking. And we are talking planning and scheduling, marketing, purchase, etc. etc. Construction itself. Means this is a package. You can say package of whole project requirement. That is construction, that is design, that is procurement, that is scheduling, that is bidding, that is quality, that is administration, everything. It's not small affair. You can say it's a big affair. Very few companies can do that. Very few organizations can do that. Because in this situation, when you say all you can do, first of all, you must have structured organization. You must have structured responsible leaders. Those who are competent, not only competent, committed, and not only committed, deliverable, dedicated, Some people are only qualified, they don't understand commitment. Some people understand commitment but they don't perform that. That organization must have initiative based leadership, proactive leaders. That's what I say. This is not question of time, duty time. This is not question of package of salary. This is not question of something else. It's question of goal. Certainly, if you achieve goals, you shall be rewarded. And some company does not reward its leaders and others, that company cannot continue for long. Because credit is to be shared by everybody. If there is considerable profit, it is to be shared by everybody. Of course, in proportion. If some owner says, no, it's my responsibility, you just take your salary, I don't care for you. Certainly you'll find some other organization. Indeed, that happens. But principle of management, principle of organization, principle of engineering clearly states that credit should be given to a person to whom it is due. It may be a watchman, it may be a guard. Whatever credit must go to one should go. Or you can say, whatever credit should go to one must go. If you want to retain them and if you want to retain your capability, we call that capacity building. Capacity building of contracting company is very difficult to achieve. Very difficult. People call themselves we are capable, we are quality oriented, but if you see their results, these do not talk that. I am not saying there are no companies, there are companies at national level, international level, where they are very few. I have seen well planned companies in many nations, organized companies, systematic companies, multinational companies. Of course, there are some defect everywhere. There is some politics everywhere. There is some, incapability approach. Oh, this is my person, this is that person. Is some people are there, some elements are there who are invested interest, vested interest, you can say, self-interest, you can say. They try to bring their own elements, irrespective that system does not accept it. But due to certain reasons, it is done, but it starts polluting that organization, quality-wise. When I say quality, it's very important point. My focus is on quality and safety. Safety is okay. You can maintain safety in major organizations. Safety is not a concern clause because they have enough money, and safety when it's done for group, it doesn't cost much. Safety is not very major concern. Major concern is quality. Believe me, I would not have started this series if I noticed that quality is not major concern. I would not have started this series. It is a question. It is a concernable issue. And not only in my country now, I think it's everywhere. I visited Saudi Jeddah. I worked in Abu Dhabi. I worked in Qatar. I worked in, you may say, Iraq, Libya. I find variation during my experience. You can say from 81 to 2010 or 11. 81 to 2010 or 11, you can say about 30 years or around 30 years period. I learnt a lot. I was not regular there, used sometime initial career, and also 2 years around in Libya, also in beginning of career after Iraq. So in this period of, you can say, in this period of around 2 decades, I I I noticed that, of course, system was not there in those days. There was no quality system. In those days, if you say from 81 to around, you can say 2000, about 20 years, there was no formal system. Formal means in concentration form, in application form, in uniformity time. About 20 years of this, after 30 years, there was no system. But I was impressed to see quality system, quality checking actually, not system, in Iraq. Just in a period of around 2 years, I realized seriousness of that country engineers, or you can say seriousness of that country public or government. I did not realize that in Libya. It was little different. So you can say working as a contracting personnel in Iraq was very, very difficult. It's like theory. It was like research. Means if you can't accept accuracy, then Iraq was not proper destination for you. Still I remember, I could not learn any quality system in my country in 6 years employment. I was here since you can say between period of 1975 to 80. Of course, I completed my pending education and I got full graduateship at that time. But what I experienced, that was not quality. I could learn luckily in Iraq in those days. I did not know what was my responsibility as contractor, but because I worked as supervisors, I worked in capacity as supervisor or supervising engineers in here governments. But in Iraq, I realized difference. I worked there on, I can say, about 3 projects, and all 3 were having different controls. It's, millimeter by millimeter accuracy. Can you imagine in construction? Accuracy. If say there is a 4-meter high column, we have to pour. It's not simple pour. Every aspect, every requirement is to be inspected, is to be done. My God, yaar. Hold on, please. सोना अच्छा जरा मैं कुछ करूँगा यहाँ पे खड़ करने लगती आती At that time, I could not understand our responsibility in 4-meter column, which is quite good for casting. 1 millimeter accuracy in 1 meter. You can say we were allowed only 3 millimeter tolerance in plumb. All locations must be accurate. Columns spacing was checked from grid to grid. You must establish grids there. This axis grid and that axis grid. We were asked to use strings or threads for every grid in X direction and Y direction. And then they used to measure from that string location of shutters. You got my point. Say this is column axis. From that, say 1 meter we take and fix a string on all columns, and then we have to see from axis of column to axis of column is not measured, but there's a grid of whole building, whole plan, X grid and Y grid. From that you have to measure location of column, and from that grid only you have to measure location of another column, not from center to center of column. Then in both directions we have to fix strings in both directions, and then we have to measure from string to shutter what is measurement. That measurement should be at bottom and at top. You have to fix in both directions, both levels, and they will calculate how much it is. If it is 1 meter from axis of column, means 1000 mm minus what is the axis of column, half of dimension, then minus ply thickness, and if there is a batten, minus batten thickness, and whatever is balance, that should be measurement. If that measurement doesn't meet requirement, this is not correct location. Everything was not automatic, and in first 4 columns I could not satisfy them. It took lot of time. Then we understood later that there is a system in their minds which work in that system. Then that person explained to you what was he requiring, what that person required. He explained to us. Then we could understand, and we repeated accordingly. It took a lot of time, and his method of inspection was very accurate, and I learnt there on those 3 projects a lot as far as inspections are concerned. Measurement checking is concerned. You can say it was top quality control, though it was not in writing, it was in practical approach. I still remember those times when I joined another country, that was Libya. I did find a difference there. There was not that imposition of quality system. Quality measurement. There was no system at that time. But then I after many years, I worked with certain British engineers, consultants in Qatar. Of course, they were quality oriented. They had some system. I had to follow that system as contractors, agent, but they did not do that hard work in quality inspections as Iraqi people did. They were oriented on writings, and they were oriented on meetings a lot. They were oriented on correspondences. They were oriented on paperwork. That orientation was good, appreciable, that you had to learn some writing work, correspondences, which I did not find somewhere else in Libya or somewhere else. But here, concentration on, you can say, accuracy was not to that level. I'm just trying to tell how difference is existed in those days. Then I discovered that in Abu Dhabi also it was industrial projects. There was some concentration on paperwork as well as on accuracy, but not to that level. As I learned in Iraq during my stay there in 81, 82 and early 83. I could not stay there for long due to reasons of repatriation of salary. You got my point, means I could not send my salary, what I got saved, to my country. And same thing happened in Libya. So by chance I got opportunity for Qatar, and their salary was not a problem, but I had to learn system which was not available in books, and I got that opportunity to concentrate on contracts also there. I was also given opportunity to work on bids because I had time. I could learn something from bids, from documents. Of course, no computers there except some DOS print. One person was there only in one organization for computer work. So what I am stating is, still after in 2010 I was in Qatar, in Saudi, and in Qatar, I did not find anything very specific that I could learn from there, except complete, you can say, hodgepodge. Contracts half in Arabic, some portion in English, some portion in Arabic. Means it was difficult to comprehend contract, as well as no inclination of consultants to very strong quality control. They did not like much writing, and also engineers of contractors didn't like much writings. So I cannot appreciate about that Jeddah issue. Qatar is of course still same it was when I was there. Writing was not objected, systems were there, material submissions were required, drawing submissions were required, all submissions were required, nothing was allowed without approvals. Specifications were there, heavy weight specifications. All these I faced, and I felt pleased. I am just trying to tell variations in quality system. Still there is quality system, I can say ISO it may be, or Sigma it may be, or whatever it may be. I can only understand nothing is complete, nothing is full. Still 2015 now, ISO 9001. But people are not oriented. That is another problem. So what do I understand now? That it's not problem of system, it's problem of conduct. It's problem of individual attitude. Attitude is not ready to understand system and to apply that. Under force they can work, otherwise not. Voluntarily nobody is ready to work in system. That is problem, and that problem requires solution, and this solution cannot come automatically. Efforts to be applied, and that's the only reason that I am here to share my views with people of this country and around world. It's not only for engineers, it's for everyone, because it is for public. Construction is done not for engineers. Engineers are operators of construction here. Engineers are operators of engineering, and if they do not drive their vehicle rightly, they do not drive properly, then how can you say quality can be achieved? State of quality is very bad currently in every field of engineering, every branch of engineering, not civil alone, in all. You can take electronics, you can take machines, you can take electrical work. You consider every branch of engineering, quality does not speak that I exist there. It speaks I am dead, I am ignored. And this is responsibilities of engineers to answer. Nobody else can answer, because engineers are drivers. Engineers are responsible for it. Even if they don't care, they are responsible, and they cannot say no, it is politics or it is leadership, we don't have any power. Engineering does not require any power, doesn't require any power. How can you say that? They have become habitual. What used to happen in past in our country, engineers were considered to be part of government or employed by government. But time changed and private companies came, private sector started work, then people used to join private. But a stage has come, it may be private or it may be government, both sleep together. Private person thinks of profit and government thinks of something else. Money dominates, not work. They know public does not know anything, that's another problem. Nobody questions. Even if you get some material that doesn't work, you don't care, okay, later what to do, I know time. Because you have much money, you don't care for this. But quality failed because of people's ignorance. Quality failed because of engineers' carelessness. Quality failed because of these reasons. And I can say attitude, again I say individual attitude. That is very important point. If individuals don't care, nobody can care. Still same approach today. People are not serious. Not only in our country, I think everywhere. People are not serious. Engineers are not serious. They just want, okay, job is safe, I am safe, I am getting salary. Why should I worry if people don't worry? If you say, why should I worry, people don't worry, that's not an answer. If everybody thinks that, then who is responsible? My question is that. Engineering is not responsible in itself. I can say institutions are responsible. Individuals are responsible. Attitude is responsible. Contract conditions are available but no implication. Nobody cares. Conditions are, codes are there. Conditions are there. Everything is there. But will does not exist. And if will does not exist, nobody can answer. You talk to someone, they will mind why he is talking like this, why he is writing so much. It happens. It happens with me. There is a problem in life. If you work continuously, regularly, without causing any problem to people, you are caught by eyes. Why is this man working? This is natural. Because when you work, you have standing, you move forward, but those people do not want to see you forward because they are not forward. If they are forward, they won't say anything. Remember, criticism comes only from those who do not work. Criticism comes from those who do not understand how to work or how to lead. They do not have solutions. So if you do not have solution, if you do not have any clear answer, try to talk a lot and criticize others. That is principle of life nowadays. I don't want to work, but I want credit. That is principle now. Or there are few people who don't want to work, who don't have any knowledge, but they want somebody should work for them. I talk to many senior engineers. Say, oh, this is management now. I have many staff here, many engineering juniors or some my colleagues. I ask them to do this and I say, I've done it. Means you are riding on other people's efforts. It happens. Some senior people employ juniors, qualified people, and they ask you do this, and they say, okay, we have done it. And then this is compiled and sent further. This is what is management. I think if this is management, then this is fake management, stupid management. You must have knowledge. It's like same as PMP. If you want to talk to some PMP, you say, oh, it's I'm manager. I will ask my engineer to do this, give this information. If your engineer has to give this information, oh, what is your role, what's your purpose? That answer does not come ever. Really, it's terrible. You have to depend on others. How can you? You don't have knowledge. Engineering means you. It's not others. You are not a collector of information. Even if you collect information, can you scrutiny on that? You can't scrutinize that. You will fake this and fake whatever information you get, you will send. And shall it work? Means a surprise. Okay, you are MBA, you are PMP, but are you engineer? My point is that. If a train driver says, I don't know driving, I don't know how to operate, shall somebody come and do it? Can it say that? Can pilot of flight say that? No. It's question of responsibilities. Why there are accidents? Because of this. Why there are failures sometimes? Why there are collapses of homework? Why there are failure of foundation sometimes? Is it because of design or because of quality? What's the reason? I think design is not important there. Generally design is done correctly, but it is failure of activities done. So I say it's already time. We'll take up further later on. I don't want to prolong this talk further. It's already 3 hours, around more than that. So I can understand that we have to go a long way further, because I am very much inclined to quality issues that is forgotten. That is, there are millions of engineers nowadays in every country, and engineering has been set on back seat. Quality has been defeated, and of course, non-serious community is engineering institutions, professional institutions, individual engineers who do not care about quality, who do not care about people, and of course people sleep. They do not understand anything, whether work is good or bad. They say, okay, it is done. You can see anywhere in this country rusted steel is used without any problem. Nobody cares. Likewise, everything is same. So we'll talk it further and say thank you very much.